Hi guys, this is Sandy from Sandys-eyecatcher, and in this tutorial I would like to show you how to darken a background. So this background was supposed to be black, but because we are using a beauty dish it actually spills quite a bit. You can't really easily feather it. So now we really want to have this dark, and I want to show you a few different ways on how to fix the background. So the first thing you can do is you click on your graduated filter, and it works similar to a graduated filter that you can use on your camera, which means that you drag it on one side to the other and it gives you a gradient. So in this way we want to have the exposure down because we want to have the background black, and now you can press the shift key and you just drag it down and then it looks like this. So you see that in the corner it gets really dark, but on her hair it's actually not so bad, so that's quite nice with the graduated filter. And the same thing you can also do in Lightroom. So here you also click on this tool and you also get the graduated filter, and you want to do the same thing. So you drag the exposure down because you want your background black, and then you just go to the corner and you just drag it down. Here you don't have to press a shift, and then you just see how much you want, and then you can go back to the exposure and dragging it down. And her hair does get a little darker, but I think that's okay. That's just a really quick fix, and I think you can still see her hair, so that's fine. But if you want to work a little bit more precisely, then you can also bring it into Photoshop. So let's clear this so we can see what we do in Photoshop. So we open the image. And now you have, again, a few different ways how you can blacken this background. So one way is that you use this levels and you blacken it here and it gets really dark. But now you see that everything gets really dark. It's not graduated. So what you have to do is that you basically have a mask here that's already there, and now you're using your brush tool. If you click on B, you get your brush tool and a black color in the foreground, and then you can mask her back out. And then you just paint very easy where you don't want the black effective. So the problem you have here now, you obviously can't really separate the background to her hair, so that makes it a little bit tricky. So probably in this case I wouldn't work like that. I actually work the other way around. So what I do is that I duplicate the layer, and then I've got this little button down here that looks like a camera, but it's actually like your masking tool. So if you click on here, you can actually now see much better where her hair is, and then you just color over. And if you want that it's a little bigger or not so much from the softness, let's make it a little bit harder, maybe something around 50. You can also change this up here, just maybe a bit more hardness. You can also change it if you drag your mouse up and down, so then you can change it. And then you can just work a little bit more precise towards her hair, because you don't really want to have any blackness on her hair, because then it kind of disappears into the background. And then you just color her all in. Something like that, very quickly. If there's some bits where it's getting a little darker, I'm not really worried about that. But I want to keep these nice rim lights here, so I want to mask them out that they don't really get too dark. Something like that. Yeah, I forgot a little bit. Yeah, a bit more hair maybe. So that's really easy and fast just to mask her out like that. Now with this you have now two different options, really. It depends how fast you want to work. So I'll show you the fast one first. So first you click on this tool again. So now you have this little mask created, and you see where I missed a little bit, but that's not a problem. I can fix this in a bit. And if I click on this symbol now, then that creates a mask. So now we know the black hides her, and the whites I can change around her. So I can do the quick way first. So if I go now from normal into multiply, then that's an immediate fix. So everything is now nice and black, and I can still see her hair. Here where I said I kind of missed her arm a little bit, I can go back into the mask. If I press Alt and onto the mask, then I can mask her a little bit out. I can also do this while just looking at the image and just go with black color and just get a little bit more back from the arm, something like that. So, but that looks pretty good, and now you have a black background. The other thing you can do if you want to have a bit more control and see what you're doing is that now with this mask you go back to this kind of levels where you can move your black point here. And so you don't want to have this on the whole picture, so you click this button and now it only affects this layer. And now you can click on the black slider here. So this is your black slider, that's your white slider, and that's like your gray in the middle. It works similar to the histogram that you can see on your camera. And now you just drag it and then you see how much you want it dark. So with the multiply layer, everything is dark all at once, it darkens everything. Here you have a little bit more control. So if you want to see a little bit of your background, maybe a few of these lines and a little bit more of her hair, then it gives you just a little bit more control. So if you go on the other side and press on Alt, you also see where we kind of missed out a few things on her hand. So we could also fix this. There you see that we painted over. So if we go back to this, and we can press on the brush again and maybe get a little bit back of her hand, back on here. So this way it's fairly easy. If you click on here again and press Alt and move the white key, now we're looking pretty good. Now there's still a little bit on her finger there, if you see that, where we painted over. But that gives you a bit more of a control than if you do it the other way around, because if you darken her first and then mask her out, then you really can't tell where the hair is and how much you should basically mask out. So it's better to do it the other way around. So these are just a few quick fixes, and I hope that helps you to get your background darker.